Zhenya, and this is Zhenya's kitchen. With all the birthday celebrations and all the holidays, we've completely forgot about all those poor people who got up on January 1st and decided this is their time to lose weight. Obviously, I didn't do that. But they still want to eat, and they want to eat something healthy, full of protein, and still delicious. So we're gonna make one recipe for them, just one time. Maybe twice, we'll see how it goes. But this one recipe is full of protein, has no meat, gonna have a little bit of dairy by my choice, you don't have to do it. Lots of vegetables, and the most fancy grain nowadays, I'm not sure if people in Russia really started eating it, it's called quinoa. So we're gonna start with almost a cup of quinoa. You can use a whole cup, that's all I've got. This is kind of leftover meal for me as well. I'm gonna use whatever I've got. So I'm gonna just put it in the strainer and rinse it under the cold water just for a little bit. There we go. And now we're gonna put it in the pot. Very good. And now we're gonna use double the amount of water of what we'll have of quinoa. So I'm gonna have 1 and 2. Another thing we're gonna put is a little bit of salt in here, about a teaspoon or so. And I'm going to cover it up and put it on a little bit above medium heat, bring it to boil, and then I will time it and I'll let you know how long it takes. Our next step, as quinoa is cooking, is going to be chopping vegetables. We're not going to do too much chopping. So here we have 8 ounces of white mushroom. You can use any mushroom you like. And if you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to use them at all. Next thing I have here is I have some broccoli. I have some loose broccoli. I have an actual broccoli crown. You can use as much as you want. I'm basically using 1.5 crowns. And put that in there. Get some of this water out. Whoops. I also have some baby carrots, about 10 of them. You can put as much as you want. You can put a whole carrot in if you want. Another thing we'll have here is a few little baby bell peppers. Again, I'm using what I have. You can use a whole bell pepper if you want. I'm just gonna have them. That's all I'm gonna do. They're gonna do just great. They're gonna be delicious roasted. All right. Last but not the least is the onion. I have this big gorgeous onion. And I'm gonna cut it in big pieces as well. Don't worry, you can't have pieces to be too much. You just want them to be enough to cook. I move this away. All right. Now we're gonna season it. We're gonna do about a teaspoon of salt. There we go. About the same amount of cracked black pepper. You want it seasoned, you want it tasty. Alright, about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder and about a tablespoon of olive oil. And you don't have to have a fancy olive bottle like I do, but I have it, so I can use it. It's very fancy. Alright, this looks gorgeous. Now, the dirty work. There it goes. Give it a little rub, little massage, put it in a good mood. This is it. The oven's at 350. My hands need to be washed. I'm gonna time it and I will let you know. When I see you next time, I'm gonna let you know how long the quinoa took and how long did this take, alright? I'll be right back with you when all this cooked, quinoa is cooked and hopefully it doesn't need to be drained. Hopefully it's just fluffy and cooled off. We need it to be cooled off. And this needs to be cooled off a little bit as well. And then we're going to do this, the most loudest food processor in the world. I'll see you then. As I promised, I'm gonna tell you the cooking times. Quinoa took 15 minutes to look this pretty and fluffy. Vegetables took about 33 minutes in the oven to look this gorgeous. The carrots are still a little bit crunchy, but it's okay. Now we're gonna move everything into the food processor. If you don't have one, I'm so sorry. You have to do a lot of chopping now. or you can pre-chop your vegetables. Probably it's gonna be easier to pre-chop it than while it's raw. I probably should have told you that before. Whoops. Don't forget to chop your vegetables if you don't have the food processor. All right. Whoops, dropping things. Put in the tablespoon. All of it. So good. This smells really delicious, very garlicky. The olive oil, the mushrooms, the whole place smells delicious, by the way. We're going to keep the spoon. I'm gonna cover that. Get ready for rumble. Ta-da! Now we're gonna take this out. And take all of it out into the mixture. Yummy. For people who don't like vegetables, I'm so sorry. This is a lot of vegetables. You gotta like at least some kind of vegetable to make this or to eat this. All right. Whew, this was a little crazy, right? So now I need a second to regroup and I'll be right back with you. Let's start adding more stuff to our delicious food. We're gonna put a little bit more garlic powder, about another teaspoon. So this is the deal. We spiced up our vegetables just lovely. But now we're gonna put a little bit more pepper as well, because quinoa only had some salt with it and nothing else. So the quinoa, which is mostly like half of our mixture, doesn't have all this gorgeous flavor that the vegetables do. We're gonna put just a little bit more salt, like a pinch, just because. We have some Parmesan cheese. It's about a third cup of that. I have some Colby cheese here, about a tablespoon of that. Not a lot of cheese. And you can always substitute cheese for something else. Can't think of anything. Think of something, I'm sure you can. Now the thing I have is about a quarter cup to a third cup of breadcrumbs to make it nice and merry. And one thing that's gonna marry them all, there we go, the egg. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll be back with you in 1 second. There we are, clean hands, mixing everything in. Oh, it's not hard. That's one good thing about it. This is not a hard mixture to mix in. It's not super dry. It's not super heavy. It's a little sticky. And it incorporates in very nicely. Oh, it smells good. It smells like vegetables that have been roasted and garlic. By the way, if you want, you can roast garlic with it too, and then add the roasted garlic to this mixture as well. I don't particularly like the roasted garlic. It's a little too sweet for me, but hey, nobody can stop you. This is it. We're ready to go. We're going to fry it, pan fry it. You can bake it. You know, you can keep it as healthy as you want to be, but you know, at this point, this is a little bit too healthy for us. Very little cheese, 1 egg. We need to fry it a little bit. Nothing deep frying, regular pan frying, just to give it a little bit of color and for egg to cook through. I'll meet you at the frying pan. The pan, it has a little bit of olive oil already, and it's on a little bit above medium temperature. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna have a little bit of water on our hands, so the quinoa and all that stuff will not stick to me too much. And then get a good helping of it and make a patty. Still sticking to me, but not as bad. At least I hope so. Alright, make a patty. Make sure it's all sticking together. And it goes in the stove. Woo! Hear the bubbles. Gonna cook it first on one side, then on another, just like hamburgers. We are going to cover them for a little bit to make sure the egg on the inside will cook through. I'm always a little iffy on an egg. I always want it to cook through. I always am afraid of any kind of disease that those chickens have. Alright. I think we can fit in 4 in here. This is gonna be so good. And you can use a hamburger maker if you want. No, the press, hamburger press. Actually, I have one somewhere. But you can use that if you want to make this perfect quarter pounders. If you are wanting veggie burgers. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll come back to you when it's time to flip these beauties. We waited about 2-3 minutes. So we're gonna start flipping them very carefully. Ooh, gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm doing food art here. They've fallen apart just a little bit. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna get eaten. Whoops. See? Beautiful color. A little messy, but hey. We can always put more egg and more breadcrumbs to continue to make it more stuck together. I think we did just good. This is the few times we made it before, it's always kind of falls apart just a little bit. My friend Jessica puts those in a salad. She crumbles them up just like meat or any kind of other topping. It always looks so delicious. Anyway, we're gonna give it 2 more minutes and we're gonna take it down on the plate, and then we're gonna have a few more batches. And it's gonna be just wonderful and delicious. Promise you. It's not so bad to be vegetarian. This is not vegan, this is vegetarian. We've got cheese going and eggs. Goodness. Alright, so we're gonna continue cooking here. We're gonna just wait for the same color on the other side to take them out. And then we are going to cook everything we have in here. And then we're gonna come back to you with the most delicious, vegetarian, and almost healthy taste test. So from all the mixture we had, we ended up with 14 and a tiny one. They all look delicious. They all, kind of most of them fell apart. But this is the taste test time. So we're gonna take one, most beautiful one, not a huge one. Perfect bite. And I know we have everything in one bite, just like that. Mmm. So good. It's a crunch on the outside, vegetables on the inside. Can't really taste the quinoa anymore. Can't taste the broccoli as well. I wonder if it's good for the people who don't like broccoli. There's onions. Can't really taste the mushrooms. So, Jim, you might want to like it. That's my father-in-law. Doesn't like mushrooms. He might like this. You can tell that there's mushrooms in here. It's really, really flavorful. It's really, really good. This is healthy. You can think of making it less healthy, putting a little dip on it, dill dip, maybe Thousand Island dressing, mix your own mayo and ketchup. It'll be all delicious. You can make it cold, you can make it warm, you can use it as a burger, as a slider, anything you want. You can crumble it on a salad, you can do anything you want. This is really versatile food, and this is really delicious and packed with all kinds of good stuff. I'm Zhenya, this is Zhenya's Kitchen, and this is my take on quinoa patties.